Ancient Roman Church and Religion. The Romans thought of themselves as being highly religious. They attributed their success as a world power to their god in an effort to keep and maintain a good relationship with all of the gods. Within the Roman Empire, Christianity was banned and Christians were punished for many years. They would feed any Christians that were in Rome to the lions, and this was seen as not uncommon entertainment during this time of ancient Rome. Roman religion was based on the principle of giving and getting. This expresses the exchange between human and God, showing the importance of gift giving as a mutual obligation. This also included sacrificing, as a need to please the gods so that they would do something in favor of you. Offerings of money, flowers, and food were made, as well as sacrifices. Sometimes the priest would kill an animal as part of a ceremony. People worshipped gods in temples which had a statue of God inside. The temple roof was triangular shaped, supported by pillars, and there were steps up to the main doorway. Inside was well decorated and had an altar where the priests served the god and made sacrifices. If you were a priest, you could get married, raise a family, and lead a politically active life. Some important Roman priests were called pontiffs and flamens. The pontiffs had many privileges and were usually men of rank or with lots of power. The most important priests were called augurs, who interpreted the will of the gods, and they were also in the temples. They used the animal guts to predict the future. Very few people ignored these predictions. The augurs also would examine the sky and look for either flocks of geese, cloud shapes, and lightning, because they believed that these were omens that could reveal the opinions of the gods. Poorer people also thought that they could tell the future by reading the palms of people's hands and by throwing dice. People also believed that illness could be cured by miracles or by treatments suggested in a person's dreams. To have one of these dreams, the patient would sleep in the temple of Asclepius, who was the god of medicine. Each Roman family had their own altar and shrine where they worshipped gods and made sacrifices of food. Each family would have a personal household god. These personal household gods were known as lairs, and they were worshipped every day at home. The house shrine would usually have some small statues of the household lairs. The head of the household led family prayers around this shrine each day. This small service was considered so important that even the family slaves were invited to join the praying. It is sometimes believed that people were more interested in trying to please their household lairs than they were in trying to please the public god. The Romans believed that people's spirits went to the underworld after they have died. They believed that when you die, your spirit is escorted by other spirits down to the river of Styx. There you'll meet up with other spirits that have recently died and go across the river on a ferry. You pass by a guard dog, who is Cerberus, that's friendly but will become unfriendly if you try to escape without permission. Also on the other side of the river, you come up to 3 judges who ask you to account for your life. After you have accounted for your life, you are given a glass of water that has come from the river of Lethe and also from one of 5 rivers of forgetfulness in the underworld. If you are a warrior, you will be sent to Elysian Fields, which is a version of paradise. If you were a good citizen, you were sent to the plain of Asphodel to continue living your life, and if you were bad and offended the gods, you were sent to Tartarus, where you will be punished until your debt to society is completely paid. Once you have been good and lived in the underworld long enough and paid any debts that you may have owed to the gods, then you will be sent back again to live by the queen of the underworld. Some of the more important gods that the ancient Romans worshipped were Mars, god of war, Mercury, the messenger of the gods, Neptune, god of sea, Janus, god of the doorway, and the 5th is Venus, god of love. Each one of these gods had a special festival day, which was usually a public holiday. These holidays were opportunities to go and visit the temple for the god that was being celebrated, and the priest would sacrifice animals and offer them to that god. Ancient Roman religion consisted of all of these gods until the years that Constantine the Great became emperor of ancient Rome. As emperor, Constantine had done many financial, social, and military projects that had strengthened the empire. Constantine had one very major change that he applied to Rome, and it was about religion. Constantine was the first ever Roman emperor to convert this empire into Christianity, which they had hated before. I hope you enjoyed my video about ancient Roman church and religion. It was a good time making it, and I put a lot of effort into it. I hope you enjoyed.